The Dragon Ball Super manga hiatus may be worse than we expected. Initially slated to return May 20th on Manga Plus, that listing was quickly removed with an indefinite hiatus in its place. What does this mean? This means there's no clear idea of when it's going to return, but we should be concerned because what many people thought was a 1-month hiatus may be more like 2 months, 3 months, maybe even 4 months. You remember whenever Dragon Ball Super took its hiatus last time after the Granola arc, but before the superhero prequel arc? That was 4 months of nothing, which of course they needed time to get things prepared, maybe make their own plans, and come out with a superhero prequel arc and then a recap of superhero. Now we are probably in a very similar situation. Who knows how long they'll take exactly, but they're not expected to return in May because it's too late for them to make a return in May, simply due to the fact that they have not announced a return in May. If they were returning in May, they would have announced it in the recent issue of V-Jump, and they did not, which means we're not getting a return in May. Our best bet now is to wait for May and see if we can get a date for June. But of course, there's a possibility that it doesn't come in June either. What would you guys think about that? Personally, I'm okay with them waiting until July, August, something like that, simply because the circumstances surrounding this delay versus the last delay are very different. The last delay was after the Granola arc leading into the superhero prequel arc. I honestly don't think we needed a 4-month delay between the Granola and superhero prequel arc because the superhero prequel arc, while I loved it, was not worthy of a 4-month delay. They needed to get some things planned out, sure. I was thinking maybe they were planning out a Black Frieza arc, but then of course we got the superhero adaptation arc, which means that 4-month delay, I'm not sure what it was for exactly. Obviously it turned out to be for the superhero prequel arc, but that was, a bit long. Now this delay is very different in terms of the circumstances it's being delayed in. The unfortunate passing of Akira Toriyama, which apparently shook them, some of them, and then some of them they knew about it ahead of time, like they kind of expected this would be happening. So they kind of planned in a certain way for this meeting or this delay or whatever. Like they expected it, but they weren't preying on it. Do you know what I'm saying? So with this in mind, this delay could be more sizable. Now, it could just be 4 months or 3 months. I'm hoping it's just 2 months and they come out with something really big because, of course, when the Granola arc ended, you already had Black Frieza there. So you have a framework of what you're going to be building to. It's not like with the Granola arc where they had to build it from scratch. You have Black Frieza showing up at the end of the Granola arc, so all you really have to think is, okay, and they fight. But without Akira Toriyama there to sail the ship, you have a lot more leeway and more freedom to explore a story that maybe Toyotaro couldn't explore in that way before. And of course, I think in the absence of Akira Toriyama's leadership, you're going to have editorial from Shueisha stepping in. Or, if we're lucky, Toyotaro could be able to take the reins and we could see his own writing full force. Now, I don't think he's going to be taking the reins full on. I do think editorial will definitely have a hand in whatever story comes next. I also think Akira Toriyama probably left some rough outlines or notes for what he would later intend Black Frieza to be doing. We have to remember Toyotaro is the one drawing it, but he's not the one writing it. Akira Toriyama is the writer of Super, and as we know, he does do general outlines. And I would expect maybe as Superhero was wrapping up, we know that his health wasn't the best, but he was working on Daima a whole lot, very deeply involved in Daima. I could also see him having some notes laying around for the Super manga. Of course, they wouldn't have been so in-depth and so in detail like they were whenever he was more healthy and working on the series with more of his free time. Because of Daima taking up his time, that could have also been why the superhero adaptation arc was created, because Akira Toriyama was busy, and so they wanted to adapt superhero and let Akira Toriyama's schedule free up a little bit, and then they would consult him more for the super manga. That's just speculation on my part, but now that I'm thinking about it, that kind of makes sense. But all in all I can really say for sure is that this super manga hiatus is worse than we expected. Like I said, many fans initially heard of 1 month. I'm kind of thinking it could be 2 or 3 months. But again, the previous hiatus was 4 months under less extreme circumstances than this, so we are going to be in a drought of content. Or are we? People forget that Daima is slated for fall 2024. Now, when does fall 2024 start? It depends on who you ask. But if you want to say August or September, then that seems like a good time frame for Dragon Ball Daima. We could have Dragon Ball Super returning in the same month that Dragon Ball Daima premieres. That would be pretty interesting. And a very crazy time for the channel because I would be covering a lot of content. But it would be good content because I love Dragon Ball. And I really appreciate talking about Dragon Ball. So if we are in that situation where Super returns in the same time frame that Daima premieres, that might actually be the renaissance that we would need after a hiatus following Akira Toriyama's passing. Everybody's recharged and refocused and just ready to enjoy Dragon Ball and embrace the legacy of Akira Toriyama. That'll be it for me for this video, guys. Just wanted to keep you guys updated. No immediate return for Super, it appears. No announcement yet, but I will keep my eyes peeled and let you know ASAP. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more. And I will see you in the next one. Peace off.